Stop eating eggs every single morning. Yes, that sounds wild on a health channel, but stay with me because this may change how you think about strength after 75. Here's the truth most people never hear. After 75, your muscles do not answer protein the way they did at 50 or even at 60. You can eat 2 eggs, maybe 3, and still feel your legs getting weaker, your grip getting softer, and your balance getting less steady month after month. The issue is not always that you are eating too little protein. The real problem is that your muscle cells are harder to wake up with age. This is often called anabolic resistance. In simple words, your muscles need a stronger signal before they decide to grow, repair, or even hold their ground. Eggs do have quality protein, no question, but for many older adults, eggs alone do not fully help with low blood flow, silent inflammation, and weaker nutrient signaling inside aging muscle tissue. That is where things get interesting. Some fruits contain natural compounds that help your muscles use protein better, improve circulation, and calm the hidden inflammation that blocks growth. When those fruits are combined with protein, the effect can be much stronger than protein alone. And today, I'm walking you through 5 fruits that may help support muscle strength after 75, from helpful to truly surprising. Stay until the end, because the last 2 are the ones almost nobody expects, and one of them may completely flip what you think a muscle food should look like. Before we get into the list, think about this for a second. Are you stronger today than you were 2 years ago, or weaker in ways you can actually feel? Maybe getting out of a chair takes more effort now. Maybe stairs feel longer. Maybe jars feel tighter. These little changes matter. They are not just annoying signs of aging. They are signals from your body. And the good news is this: muscle can still respond later in life. It may respond more slowly, yes. It may need more support, yes, but it can still respond. That means your food choices matter more now, not less. And one of the simplest ways to support muscle in later life is to stop thinking only about protein grams and start thinking about what helps that protein actually work. That is the shift. That is the whole game. So let's start with a fruit that most people overlook completely. It does not look flashy. It is not marketed like a superfood, but it brings amino acids, minerals, and real support for muscle function in a way that deserves much more attention. And once you hear what it can do, you may never walk past it the same way again. Keep watching, because the next fruit after this gets even more impressive. And by the time we reach the top of the list, you will see why muscle support after 75 is not just about meat, milk, or eggs anymore. It is about building the right environment inside the body. Jackfruit is where we begin, and for many people this one comes out of nowhere. Most have heard the name, but very few know what to do with it, and even fewer think of it as a muscle-supporting food. That is a mistake. Jackfruit is one of the more protein-rich fruits you can find, and while 1 cup gives only a few grams of protein, the real story is not just the number. The real story is the full package. Jackfruit contains a wide range of amino acids, along with potassium, magnesium, and vitamin B6. And those nutrients matter more than most people realize. Potassium helps muscles contract properly. Without enough of it, your muscles feel tired, weak, and cramp more easily. Magnesium supports recovery and helps muscles relax after movement, even if that movement is just a short walk, light chores, or getting in and out of the car. Vitamin B6 helps your body actually use protein in a useful way. If B6 is too low, protein may come in, but muscle support does not happen as well as it should. That is why jackfruit can be more helpful than it first appears. It is not just food, it is support for the whole process. And if you have ever felt like you were eating healthy enough, but still getting weaker, this is exactly the kind of detail worth paying attention to. Small shifts, bigger payoff. And this is only fruit number 5. What makes jackfruit even more useful is how easy it is to fit into normal life. You do not need fancy recipes, you do not need special powders, you do not need to spend an hour in the kitchen. Young jackfruit in a can can be drained, dried a little, and cooked in a pan with olive oil, garlic, and simple seasoning. In minutes, it becomes a warm, savory dish with a texture that feels hearty and satisfying. If you find ripe jackfruit, that version is sweeter and works well in a smoothie with banana, yogurt, or milk. Either way, the point is consistency. One serving once in a while will not change much, but adding it a few times a week may help support better muscle function over time, especially when it is paired with a source of protein and something rich in vitamin C. That combination may help absorption and make the meal more useful to the body. And if you are thinking, that sounds good, but surely the next fruit is more powerful, you are right. Because the next one does not just bring protein, it also helps cool down the low-grade inflammation that quietly wears muscle down year after year. This is where the list gets more serious, so do not click away now. The next fruit is common in some places, ignored in others, and it deserves far more respect than it gets. especially from anyone who wants stronger legs, steadier balance, and better recovery after 75. Guava may look small, but it brings a lot to the table. This fruit is one of the highest protein fruits around, with more protein than most people expect from something sweet and soft. But again, the biggest win is not just the protein count. Guava also contains powerful natural plant compounds and a huge amount of vitamin C, and that combination matters for older muscles. As we age, many people develop a steady background level of inflammation. It is not the kind you feel like a cut or a fever. It is quieter than that. But over time, it can speed up muscle breakdown and make it harder for the body to repair itself. That is one reason some older adults lose strength even when they believe they are eating enough. Guava may help by giving the body compounds that support a calmer internal environment, one where muscle is better able to rebuild instead of only defend itself. And the vitamin C in guava helps even more because vitamin C supports collagen formation. Collagen is important for tendons, ligaments, and the connective tissue that helps muscles do their job safely. Without that support, muscles may feel weaker, tighter, or more vulnerable to strain. So guava is not just a fruit, it is a support system. It helps the body use what you eat more effectively, and when that happens, even simple movement can start to feel a little easier. The best part about guava is how easy it is to eat. You can wash it and eat it whole, skin and all. You can slice it, spoon it into yogurt, mash it into oatmeal, or blend it into a smoothie with spinach and Greek yogurt for a simple breakfast that actually does something useful. If you want an extra edge, eat guava before light activity, like walking, chair squats, or resistance band work. That timing may help your body have the right nutrients available while the muscles are being used, and that matters more than many people think. Exercise sends the signal, food supports the response. Put them together, and the body has a better chance to hold on to strength. And let's be honest, that is the goal here. Not bodybuilding, not perfection, real strength. The kind that lets you stand up easier, carry groceries, catch yourself if you trip, and move through your house with confidence. That is the kind of muscle support that changes life. Now, here comes a fruit that almost no one talks about, but it may be one of the most interesting on this whole list. It is dark, slightly sweet, easy to carry, and packed with a combination that aging muscle cells may quietly love. If you have never tried it, do not worry. By the end of this next part, you may want it in your kitchen right away. And trust me, the reason goes far beyond taste. Dried mulberries are the underdog here. They do not get the attention of berries, bananas, or apples, but they deserve a serious look, especially for older adults. A small serving gives protein, iron, fiber, and natural plant compounds that may help support how muscle cells make and use energy. That iron matters. Oxygen has to reach muscle tissue if muscle is going to work well, recover well, and stay strong. If iron is too low, oxygen delivery can suffer, and then everything feels harder. Walking feels heavier. Recovery takes longer. Muscles tire faster. Dried mulberries help by bringing iron together with protein in one simple food. But what really makes them stand out is their natural compounds that support healthy aging at the cell level. These compounds are linked to better mitochondrial function. Mitochondria are like tiny power stations inside your cells. When they work well, your muscles have more energy to move, repair, and keep going. When they slow down, you feel it. That deep tiredness, that flat feeling, that sense that your body just does not bounce back like it used to. So when a food supports these energy systems, that matters a lot. And dried mulberries may do just that. Small fruit, big potential. This is why muscle support after 75 is not about one magic protein source. It is about finding foods that make the whole system work better. And once again, simplicity wins. Dried mulberries require almost no effort. Open the bag and eat them. Sprinkle them onto cereal. Mix them into oatmeal. Add them to plain yogurt. Toss them with nuts for an easy snack you can carry in your pocket or keep by your chair. They are sweet enough to enjoy, but they do more than just satisfy a craving. If you want to help the iron in mulberries work better, eat them with a food rich in vitamin C, like orange slices, strawberries, or kiwi. That one little pairing can make the minerals more available to the body, and this is where things start to become clear. Each fruit on this list is doing something slightly different. Jackfruit helps support protein use and muscle function. Guava helps calm inflammation and support connective tissue. Mulberries help with oxygen delivery and cellular energy. So the smart move is not to pick one and forget the others. The smart move is to build variety into the week. And now we are moving into the top two. This is where people usually get surprised. The next fruit does not look like a muscle food at all. In fact, many people avoid it because they still fear fat. That would be a mistake, because this fruit may help your muscles use nutrients more effectively, and that changes everything. Ready for one of the biggest twists in this whole video? Here it comes. Avocado is fruit number 2, and yes, it absolutely belongs here. A lot of people think of avocado only as a healthy, fat food, but that is far too small a view. Avocado also contains fiber, minerals, and a few grams of protein, but the real power may come from the fat itself. Healthy monounsaturated fat helps support cell membranes, and that matters because muscle cells need strong, flexible membranes to let nutrients move in efficiently. As we age, cells can become less responsive and less effective at using what we eat. So even when protein is present, the results may be weaker than expected. Avocado helps support a better internal environment for nutrient delivery. That means protein from the rest of the meal may become more useful. This is a key idea. Not every food has to do the same job. Some foods provide the building blocks, others make it easier for the body to use them. Avocado also brings a strong dose of potassium, which helps with muscle contraction, nerve signaling, and the prevention of cramps. If you wake up with tight calves, feel spasms at night, or notice your legs tiring early, potassium deserves your attention. Avocado may also help the body handle oxidative stress better, and that matters because too much oxidative damage can wear muscle tissue down over time. So no, avocado is not just trendy toast filler. For older adults, it may be one of the smartest foods on the plate. And the easiest thing about avocado is that there is almost nothing to prepare. Cut it open, remove the pit, eat it with a spoon and a little salt if you like. Spread it on toast, blend it into a smoothie, dice it over soup or salad, mash it beside eggs if you still enjoy eggs and want to make that meal work harder for you. That may be one of the smartest uses of all, because the point is not always to replace traditional protein foods. The point is to pair them with foods that help the body respond better. That is how you build a better plate after 75. Smarter, not just bigger. And if you time avocado near activity, especially after a walk or light exercise, the body may be even more ready to use those nutrients during the recovery window. Now, if avocado surprised you, wait until you hear the number 1 fruit. This is the one that makes people stop, lean in, and rethink the whole conversation. It is small, it is simple, it has been around forever, but in the right form, it may offer exactly the kind of support aging muscles need most. If you have stayed with me this far, good. Because the next part is the one you really came for. And once you hear it, you may want to add this fruit to your routine almost immediately. Dried apricots take the top spot, and there is a good reason for that. They may not look dramatic. They are not wrapped in flashy health claims, but inside that small golden fruit is a combination of nutrients that can be very helpful for older adults trying to protect strength. Dried apricots contain protein, potassium, iron, beta-carotene, and a range of plant compounds that may help the body repair and support muscle tissue. What makes them especially interesting is how they may support the body's own repair system. Your muscles have helper cells that sit ready for repair work when needed. As we age, that repair response often slows down, recovery becomes slower, muscle loss becomes easier, strength comes back less completely after illness, inactivity, or stress. Foods that help support those repair pathways are worth paying attention to, and dried apricots may do exactly that. They also bring a large amount of potassium, which older muscles need for proper signaling and contraction. Without enough potassium, the system gets shaky, muscles may cramp, feel weak, or struggle to respond quickly. Add in iron and copper, and now you have support not only for muscle tissue itself, but also for the structures that help muscles stay connected and functional. This is why dried apricots rise to the top. They are not a miracle, let's be clear, but they may be one of the more complete fruit options for someone over 75 who wants practical support for strength. And once again, the beauty is how easy this can be. You can eat 6 to 8 dried apricots as a snack, chop them into oatmeal, stir them into yogurt, mix them with mulberries and nuts for a strong little snack that feels simple but works hard behind the scenes. If chewing is difficult, simmer them in a little water until soft, and spoon them over warm cereal or toast. One important detail matters here. If you can, choose unsulfured dried apricots. They are usually darker, more brownish than bright orange, and many people prefer them when looking for a less processed option. Store them in a cool place so they hold their quality longer. And remember, small daily habits beat rare perfect ones every time. You do not need a complete lifestyle reset tonight. You need repeatable steps. That is how strength is rebuilt. That is how balance is protected. That is how independence lasts longer. And if this top fruit surprised you, that is exactly the point of this whole conversation. Muscle support after 75 is not just chicken breast, eggs, and protein shakes. Sometimes the foods that help most are the ones nobody taught you to notice. Stay with that thought, because bringing all 5 fruits together may be the smartest part of all. Here is the bigger picture. None of these fruits work by magic. and none of them replace movement, good sleep, enough total protein, or medical guidance when needed, but they may help create a better body environment for muscle maintenance and recovery. That is the phrase to remember. Better environment. Jackfruit helps support protein use with key minerals. Guava helps calm the internal stress that wears muscle down. Dried mulberries support oxygen flow and cellular energy. Avocado helps nutrients move more effectively into muscle cells while supporting contraction and recovery. Dried apricots bring a wider package that may support repair, signaling, and overall muscle function. Put all of that together and you get something important, not just more food, but more useful food. That matters when the body is older and less forgiving, because after 75, the body often does not waste time giving big signals. It whispers. It whispers through fatigue, through slower walking, through weaker grip, through the extra second it takes to stand up. If you ignore the whisper, the body keeps going in the wrong direction. But if you respond early, even small changes can begin to shift the story. And that is why this matters so much. Now, we are not talking only about muscle size, we are talking about the ability to live on your own terms, to move with confidence, to prevent falls, to stay capable, to stay you. And yes, food is a huge part of that story. So, if you are serious about strength after 75, think differently starting now. Do not ask only, how much protein did I eat today? Also ask, did I help my body use that protein well? Did I support circulation? Did I support recovery? Did I support the signals my muscles need to stay alive and active? That is the smarter question, and that is where these fruits come in. They are simple, they are natural, they are easy to add. You do not need to use all 5 on the same day. Rotate them through the week. Add guava to breakfast, use avocado with lunch, snack on dried apricots in the afternoon, keep mulberries nearby, try jackfruit a few times a week. Build the habit slowly, but build it for real. Because your future strength is not decided in one meal. It is decided in patterns, in repeat choices, in quiet daily support that keeps your body ready to fight back against decline. And if you have made it this far, let this be the moment you stop thinking muscle loss is just something you must accept. It is not always that simple. Your muscles are still listening. They may be older, they may be slower, but they are still listening. Give them the right signal. Give them the right support. And you may be surprised by how much strength your body still wants to keep.